Hi guys, it's Nancy, and I have the March 2024 wax seal of the month here. This is the congrats on the next chapter. It comes with the Twilight Purple wax beads, which is a deep dark purple. I've already done one of them. It is a square wax seal. So I've put 4 beads in my oven, and I'm trying to do as close to a square as I can do here. I'm not very good at it, but we're trying. Ooh, that one's a little bit bigger. And so I'm going to blow that out and move that aside. Oh, let me get my paper towel and clean that spoon off. And then I will show you guys the other club kits, which I have are the Glimmer of the month, which is warming up, the Betterpress of the month, and the 3D embossing folder of the month. All right, so again, it's a square wax seal, and when you join the wax seal of the month, these seems to be selling out pretty quickly. I know the February one sold out pretty quickly, and the only way that you could get it, February one, the only way you could get it was to join the whole kit and caboodle. So you get a whole 100 wax beads and the wax seal, and this one's a square one. So that's March 2024, and let's reveal this one. Here is the wax seal. I like that saying, congrats on the next chapter. We have, weddings, graduations, new jobs, all of these things coming up. And you can see how nice and deep and dark purple that color is. Let's grab one of our deco paint pens. This is the silver. This theme for this month seems to be kind of like new chapters, books. You'll see kind of everything we have matches that. And you can pick up these paint pens. I'll link them below also on Spellbinders. There's gold, silver, and rose gold, but they kind of help that wax seal just pop a little bit, so you can see the difference there with and without it. All right, so that is the March 2024 wax seal of the month. Let's move on to the Glimmer of the month. The Glimmer of the month is going to give you cobalt foil. Glimmer of the month is hot foiling. And I already have my Glimmer set up, and the background is kind of like what looks like stripes to a book. And then you get 4 sentiments, and the 4 sentiments say, our story is my favorite, magical wishes for you, enjoy your new chapter, and coffee, books, and you. And again, it's sticking with that theme of new chapter, books, stories, things like that. And you get a roll of cobalt hot foil. So this is only to be used in the Spellbinders Glimmer, the Gemini foil press or foil quill, or Go Press and Foil. And you get the dies. I love banner dies, so they will perfectly cut out those sentiments. So I have in here a piece of white cardstock, and I've used some gold matte foil to do the lines that are going to be our book pages, I guess. So that is just about ready. We're going to run that through, and then we'll do the words. We'll do the words, and we'll do those in cobalt foil. Whoops, my cord is dragging my camera down. Okay, there we go. So if you're not familiar with Glimmer hot foiling, you have your hot foil plate down with your foil, your paper, and I have my top plates taped together, and then we run that through our die cutting system. And then you can see those are the lines that we're going to get. I'm just going to flip that over and see if I can get the last couple of lines here. So we get a kind of a whole background of pages. So it'll be a background of pages. I'll give that a second. And then on the separate piece, okay, we cut a piece of that cobalt blue foil, and we'll do the sentiments, and I think I'll cut this oh, I cut that one too short. Let's do this. We're going to do the hinge method here. Oh, I cut that one too short too. I am not doing well with cutting my foil today. Oh, there we go. Alright, now when I flip this down, okay, that's ready to go. Oh no, that's going to stick out. Okay, so that's not going to work. I have to move this whole thing over. I might have a little bit of overlapping. Okay, there we go. Oh, we should be okay. All right, so now we can remove this and put this piece down. that back on the Glimmer to warm up. Let's reveal this. Oh, did I do it crooked? Did do it crooked. That's okay. We'll cut it down. So those are supposed to be the ends of books. That's okay. We'll cut them down to make it look like bookends. I'm not going to worry about that right now. All right. So while the Glimmer is warming up, we will move on to the embossing folder of the month. I'm going to spritz this new, to me, this is the new tangerine cardstock from Spellbinders, bright orange color. I thought it just looked nice, this bright orange tangerine. So I'm going to spritz this with the new Spellbinders spritzer. Because again, 3D embossing folder. And the new 3D embossing folder looks like this, kind of this diamond pattern. Whoops. And for the 3D embossing folder sandwich, we're going to use our base plate and our D plate. So A plate, 3D embossing folder, and our D plate. How nice those details come out. So that is the 3D embossing folder. All right, let's run our sentiments through. Now this cardstock's a little thicker, so I'm going to run that through a couple times here. And because I have the hinge method, I should be able to check that just by flipping the hinge. Oh, the foil folded over itself there. That's okay. On this one too. That's my mistake. I wonder if I can fix that. Oh, I think I can fix that because it foiled on itself. Whoops. That's my mistake. All right, well, we have two good sentiments there. So we're going to use the coordinating dies and we're going to cut those sentiments out. That's my mistake for not checking to make sure my foil didn't fold over on itself. So we're going to take the coordinating die and we're going to die cut that out. Die cutting, we want our A plate, our B plate, and then you want your base cutting plate. Now I'm using the scrapbook.com Magic Mat for this. And then we're going to use our paper. I'm going to use a little bit of Spellbinders tape to hold that in place. And then your top cutting plate. And those will just pop right out. So for the Glimmer, whoops, you're going to get the full roll of Glimmer hot foil. You're going to get the background plate, which looks like pages. And you're going to get the sentiments and the coordinating dies. So for the Glimmer of the Month for March, you're going to get the background pages, the sentiments, the coordinating dies, and the full roll of foil. So if you are just starting with hot foiling, this is a wonderful value because you get that full roll of foil as well as the fun. I like the dies too because, again, banner dies you can always use. All right, so that is the Glimmer of the Month. So we're going to move that aside, and I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut this in strips. This almost looks like the front of a book, doesn't it? Or this could be like the book pages. That's why I picked the matte gold. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this look like the front of a book. Almost like the book is kind of laying down. And we're going to make this like the title. Like this is the front of the book. And again, the sentiments say, our story is my favorite. Magical wishes for you. Enjoy your new chapter, and coffee, books, and you. So those are the 4 sentiments that you get for that. All right, so that is that. We have the wax seal. We have the 3D embossing folder. So the last thing that I'm going to show you guys before we start putting some cards together is the Betterpress, which I think has been the most popular new club. We have quite a few new clubs. The Betterpress is right here. And this one, again, sticking with that book theme, is Friendship Book Plate. So you have this beautiful frame, and then you also have the sentiment, which says, our friendship is my favorite story. And then you have this die, which cuts out the sentiment. It's kind of an oval die. And you have the sentiment die, so you can cut out that sentiment. So I already have my Betterpress prepped in here. So I have the frame in here, which is beautiful floral frame. And then I have my Betterpress paper ready to go, stuck in here. So we're just going to grab some ink and we're going to run that through and have my new colors. And I have a piece of lilac bloom cardstock that I wanted to use as my card base. So we're going to stick with that. So I think we're going to do a bright, let's go with a bright pink. Let's go with Wild Berry for our outside frame here. Think nice, happy spring colors. Bold. And I took my friend Mary's advice and I put a little piece of press and seal down on my mat to try to keep everything nice and clean. I'll let you know how that works out. Okay, so that was Wild Berry ink. And we're going to run this through and then we'll come back and do our sentiment. So oh no, I was off center. What happened? Oh, I see what happened. My shims and everything popped out of place. Whoopsie. Let's redo that. pretty, but we need everything centered. I'm actually going to save that, and we'll do our sentiment out of this, but we're going to redo this frame. I wondered why my thing had popped up. Now I see what happened. Let me take one of these shims out. Yeah, let's just go with one shim. Let's make sure everything's nice and I do like that color though. That's going to look great. Okay, back in with the wild berry. Try that again. Make sure my paper is stuck down pretty well. All right, let's try that again. All right, no popping up this time. Everybody seems to be aligned correctly. What is going on? I don't have my paper lined up correctly, centered correctly. That must not be my center, or it's sliding down. I need to pull down here. Oh, I had my plate on upside down. Whoopsie. All right. One more time, Nance. I need to cut more paper. Okay, so while I get my trimmer, I had my Betterpress top plate. This was not at the bottom. It was upside down like this. So I didn't have it lined up properly. So it looked like it was lined up properly, but it was not. Okay, so I need to cut some more Betterpress paper. So I always cut mine down to 5.5 by 4 1/4, but I know I want this piece 5 1/4 by 4, so I'm just going to start off by cutting it to 5 1/4 by 4 right off the bat. That way I don't have to cut it down later. Let's try that one more time with the correct measurements. Hopefully this, okay. Are we centered? I don't know. We'll find out. Another way to do it is on a clean plate. Line it up on your plate and then pick it up on the sticky grid. But I already have ink on this plate, and at this point, I just don't feel like cleaning it up. So now it's just pure laziness. So I'm just being a lazy crafter. Yes, I know. Shame on me. Okay. All right, so now I have my Betterpress at the bottom towards my handle. I do believe we are lined up correctly this time. Third time's the charm, guys. And then we can move on to the sentiment. And I think we have the right size paper, so I don't have to cut it down. That's pretty good. That is pretty darn good. That makes me happy. See, now, look at that. I can frame that on there. Perfect. All right, now we can do the sentiment. I'm not going to bother to clean this right now. We will come back and clean that later. And we're going to die cut the sentiment, so I'm not going to worry about cleaning this right now. We're going to go right into the sentiment. Which I think I'm going to go in with Decisions. When you have all these beautiful colors, I think I'll just use black. Nope, I'm going to go in with Azure. I want this to be a nice, beautiful, brightly colored card. And we're going to die cut the sentiment out, so I'm not really too worried. Press and seal cleans right up. All right. And that just fell right off of there. You know what? We're just going to leave that right there. Okay. All right. That worked out. That worked out great. Okay. So now we're going to bring our die cutting machine in. And we're going to die cut that out. So again, A plate, B plate, Magic Mat, Betterpress. We're going to die cut this out with the coordinating die. Now, for me, the Spellbinders tape is a little extra tacky, so you want to remove some of that stick, because sometimes it does kind of rip the paper, so just be careful of that. Okay, then top plate. And it is thicker cardstock, so I am going to run that through a couple times just to make sure I have it cut through. And since we're die cutting, I am going to take the oval die cut and cut out a little frame from the oval. With the oval, I think I'm just going to grab some, I just have some black cardstock here. So we'll just cut a little frame out of that oval. Okay, I think we have enough here to use all of these elements from the March club kits and start assembling some cards. And that's what's nice. I don't have the whole kit and caboodle, but if you had gotten a whole kit and caboodle, you have more than enough to make your own club kits. So here is the Betterpress of the month. So you get that nice floral book friendship book plate with the sentiment. And again, I cut it down to 5 1/4 by 4. You could have certainly left it the larger size. And then I cut out using the coordinating oval, squoval, I should say, squoval die. Square oval die, and it comes with the sentiment. Our friendship is my favorite story. That is very simple, very easy. Betterpress is all the rage right now. And don't forget, you can hot foil all of this. So if you have Glimmer of the Month and you like glimmering, you can also hot foil the Betterpress of the month. So that was very easy to do. That's Betterpress of the month, okay? Very simple, very easy to do with that one. Okay, let's do, I think these three I can put together. So this is going to be the card base. So I think this one, I'm going to cut a little bit of this off. So this kind of looks like the front of the book, right? And this will be like the book pages. So we're going to cut a little bit of this off. And then this will be the title. So this will be a combination of 3D embossing folder, Glimmer of the Month, and then we will add the wax seal. So let's start with cutting down the Glimmer here. So this is going to be 5.5. This is a little bit larger than 5.5. And we'll cut this down to, let's say, 1 inch. So it looks like somebody kind of picked up a book. All right. So those are the pages of the book. And so since this is 4 1/4, 5.5 by 4 1/4, we're going to make this 5.5 by 3 1/4, right? We'll make it 3.5, so there's a little bit of a lip. So let's say this is my book, and I know I had it. Where'd my other I had 3 sentiments. Okay, so coffee, books, and you. Enjoy your new chapter, which matches our wax seal. So, you know, we could put that on there. We could put that on here. We could put that on here, actually. Maybe somebody, again, we have graduation coming up. We have people that are going off to new jobs. Maybe people are retiring. And we can add this on there. Just all coordinates so nicely together. Okay, so here we have wax seal of the month, 3D embossing folder of the month, and glimmer of the month, all on one card. And here we have Betterpress of the month. So there are the March 2024 Spellbinders of the month club kits that I get. If you have any questions, post them down below. Again, so many different things that you can do with these kits. Make sure you check out my friends, Stationery by Justine, Melanie Smith, and Tracy Schultz. I'll link their channels below. They also get some of these kits and some different ones, so you get different inspirations. And if you have any questions, post them down below. I'll have the links. These are all available if you are new on the 6th. If you are a current club member, you can get these items as of the 1st of the month. And again, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.